Hi crafters, this is Raquel from Paints and Glitter here with ScrapbookPal.com. I'm coming along today with a new release from Fawn, and this is going to be a combination of the Over the Rainbow dies. This is a brand new release and it creates a kinetic card with a little rainbow that will move back and forth on your card base. However, you can definitely use it as a horizontal slide and create the little lines as anything else that you wish. And I'm going to also be using the brand new release of the Silly Goose Rain or Shine. And this here has these adorable little playful geese with a little umbrella, and you can tell there's some raindrops in the background. It comes with little sentiments also, just very darling. Make a splash. You silly goose, you make me happy, rain or shine, let's party. So you can use it for different types of occasions. And it does have a matching stencil set. So if you prefer to use, for instance, Oxide inks or any kind of inks like this that you may have, whether they be from Fawn or not, you can definitely use those to color in your little images. And of course, there are matching dies that now come separately, so they're very easy to store. And I'm going to go ahead and start cutting and coloring, and we'll make a little card together today. So don't forget to subscribe for more videos like these. And also, I'll have a blog post, so if you prefer photos, you can follow along that way as well. We are going to begin today with some VersaFine Onyx Black ink, and we'll be stamping the images for this card onto white cardstock that will be watercolor friendly. So I'm just using a heavyweight or 300 GSM white card. That is my go-to for coloring. And once I've applied the black ink and pressed it with my stamping platform as many times as needed, as soon as I get a crisp image, then I can go ahead and grab these stencils. Now there's a set of 3, and this is going to give you all of the little details that you can start coloring in using a small brush or a dauber, using the inks of choice. Today I am using Oxide inks because I find them to be really nice and bright. So as you can tell, I'm going from the edge of the stencil and then coloring onto the image in a circular manner. This allows that ink to blend really well. And you can change the intensity, of course, if you want to focus on one part of your image. This is a great way to do this without too much effort. So the first color that I have here is actually a really nice, beautiful spice marmalade. So it's nice and vibrant. And then using the same stencil, you'll find that you can color in the little boots to this particular goose. So I've gone in with the worn lipstick, and what I chose to do was to use colors that just would be easy to match. So this worn lipstick is the same color that I'm using on the little pocket and the buttons. I didn't clear or clean the brush or anything like that because I'm using the same pink, and what I'm doing is overlapping on top of that orange, but it still looks really beautiful. And that's what's wonderful about oxides, is that they don't get muted too easily. So using that same spice marmalade, I did the beak, and now I took a different brush. This is a Nuvo brush, and I'm using the Pearl Stencil Paste from Lawn Fawn. It's my first time using it, but I thought it would be fun to make the little geese look a little bit shiny, a little bit textured. And if you find that it mutes down the black ink a little bit too much, you can always trace over it with a fine liner pen. So don't be too worried about that, but here are the results. I thought it would be really pretty to just have a little bit of that pearlescent shine, and I will be repeating that again. Now, here is a different stencil. This is the one I'm going to be using for the umbrella, and using Festive Berries Oxide ink, also Squeeze Lemonade Oxide, or I'm sorry, this is Distress ink. Then I'm going to be creating a nice and colorful little umbrella here. And I do suggest using as many different colors as you may have. And again, if you don't have a whole lot of colors in your collection, then you can certainly overlap the colors to create just a little bit of a different hue. But what I really like about Lawn Fawn is that they provide the stencils with all of the tiny little details, not just the larger images. So here I've moved on to the water little splashes, and I'm using Salvaged Patina. And it's easy enough to just overlap that little stencil over the image, grab the brush, load it with ink, and just color in. So here is the third stencil. I'm using Bundled Sage for the other little raincoat. And again, with the Spice Marmalade, I'm doing the beak and the little legs, which you can also do for the little geese. And the buttons I'll be coloring in the same Spice Marmalade. Very easy. And here, one little tip you can do is with a B60 Copic pen, you can add shadows and then add the paste on top. And I just wanted to see if that would work, if it would damage any of the color, but it doesn't because the alcohol color is not water-based, so that helps. And whenever you're overlapping colors, that's a great little way to do it. So with peacock feathers, I finished the little boots, and the next thing I'm going to do is grab all of the little dies and cut out all of my images. Once these are cut, I'm taking a white gel pen by Nuvo and just adding little highlights to these images. Now, this is not compulsory, but I really think that it's fun to do this when you have little images that have tiny details that may get lost. And just a tiny little dash that matches the edge of the black line or little dots that are right next to those black lines are going to be sufficient to add a little highlight to your images. You really don't have to know how to draw. That won't be necessary if you're new to card making, so that you can still add little details to your images, but it does make it look quite whimsical and cute. I try to think of, for instance, the images in a child's book. So this is going to be a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch card. I have my top matting layer, and now I'm moving on to the dies from over the rainbow. This die here is going to create the aperture for our card. I'm going to tack that down with low tack adhesive, and you see that overlap? You really need that when you cut this down. So I'm just going to use my die cutting machine, and you're going to see the results. It's going to create that little window. You can just remove that easily. And that other piece you can reserve for a different card if you'd like to, but there's a second die here that's going to create the mechanism, and that's going to be the little pull-out tab, if you will. We're also going to be using a cloud on this card, so I did cut both of those out of 300 GSM white card. And then there's a center portion here that creates the actual rainbow. I used 80-pound card, and as you can tell, I've already added the adhesive to that portion. Now the rainbow bits I've cut out using the one strip die that you see here and all of the little colors. And there's also a tab for the bottom, and I cut that out of lavender paper, and those papers are all from Lawn Fawn. Now this paper here that creates our rainbow, you want to fold. So I'm folding it in a V fold or a valley fold facing us. And once you get your adhesive here, which I did use the 1/4 inch easy tack, I think it's called, or don't quote me on that, but easy tear adhesive, I should say. Then once I removed the backing to that, I was able to add each little strip. Now, a real rainbow has 7 colors, but for some reason, Lawn Fawn decided on 6, and that's okay. It still gives you the look of a real rainbow. Now, you can tell I'm using Lawn Fawn papers here. They're gradient papers, and some of them have little stars, which I thought was really darling, but you want to make sure that you burnish the center so that this does create that rainbow shape. And on the bottom, you can add your little colorful tab that will be seen when you pull this portion up. And this is going to adhere onto that tab paper. That's the white paper that you see me using there. So here's the scrappy tape. That's what it's called. I always forget the name. But you want to adhere this only along the bottom, and you want to make sure that it does reach the top evenly. And on that top portion, on that background piece, you can add the little tabs that come in your die set. Now, you don't have to add the back one, but I decided to. And on that rainbow portion, you see me adding adhesive because this is the portion right on the top that's going to hide behind your card front matting layer. So I'm going to line that up very gently, and you're going to notice that it creates almost like a Z fold. So that's what you should see when you're done. And here, I also decided to add the rain drops that you can stamp onto your background. And as you see there, be careful with the rainbow. You don't want to accidentally get ink on it after you've done all that hard work. So ask me how I know. But here I've added the make a splash sentiment and a little bit more of the little water splashes that are going to be peeking out once that rainbow is pulled. And with the BG10 Copic marker, I colored that in. Now this is important, create a U shape with foam adhesive along the outer perimeter of the tab and also on the outer edges of your matting layer. This is what's going to allow that to move up and down without getting stuck on your card. The foam adhesive will be of your choice. There's some available at ScrapbookPal.com, of course, but you can add it all throughout or however you like. As you can tell, I didn't add a whole lot and this still worked. What's important here is that you match your background, then evenly all the way around. And the next thing you can do is to start decorating. Now you have the option of adding a second layer behind that paper, but I just chose to put it straight onto my card base because I create heavy card bases, so I'm not too worried about that. And I had a lot of fun, of course, decorating the front of this card with all of the little elements that I had colored and stamped. And this is the fun part. You do as much or as little as you like, of course, but to create a scene, I think Lawn Fawn has created a very complete image here. And as you can tell, what I'm doing is that I'm going to create the little umbrella to hang on to that portion of the rainbow so that it looks like it is windswept. So once you pull that tab, you get the make a splash, but the little umbrella goes flying up in the air. I thought that was really cute. So here on the cloud, I've stamped the You Make Me Happy sentiment using Oxide ink to match, and that was in Peacock feathers. And you want to make sure to add this on the front using foam adhesive also. So I'm using the 3D foam squares, and they can only be added to the outer edge. Otherwise, it's going to impede that rainbow from moving. But on the inside, I repeated the same image and stamped the sentiment rain or shine so that it says, You make me happy, rain or shine. That completes the sentiment for today's card. This is going to go right along the bottom. And I do have a blog post with all of these details as well over at ScrapbookPal.com. So if you want to read that, you'll have access to everything that I've used today, links included. So I hope that you do get your hands on this adorable collection. The very last detail was this glitter pen, I'm sorry, from Nuvo. It's water-based, so you want to be careful when you use this if you've done other watercoloring on your card, but it just lends a bit of shine that I thought would be perfect for this type of card with a rainy day here, or maybe it just stopped raining. But I had so much fun with these supplies. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial as well. I invite you to subscribe to ScrapbookPal.com for more free tutorials like these and lovely ideas. The design team is phenomenal, and we all have so much fun creating for you. I hope that you have gained some inspiration today, of course, and that you can be blessed. And I thank you so much for having spent some time with me today. Hope to see you in my next video. And there you go. Here's the results. Thanks for watching.